It's inexcusable that we go around the world and we talk about equal rights for women in other countries, and we don't. We don't have equal rights for women in America, and we don't because when they wrote the Constitution, they didn't intend it for women.
They didn't intend the Constitution for women. Are you sure Barack Obama didn't write her acceptance speech? Joining us now is former Congresswoman Michele Bachmann, former member of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence and former GOP presidential candidate. Hello, Congresswoman.
Hello, it's great to be with you this morning on your show.
Well, I think this is the first time I'm talking to you since you're not sitting in Congress.
I think you're right. Yeah,
you sound more relaxed. You sound more relaxed.
Well, how about that? What do you think?
All right,
it's a wonderful life.
So let's get to it. That acceptance speech, and that was after the acceptance speech where, you know, using the Oscars as a platform, equal pay for equal work. You know what came out just yesterday? Hillary Clinton, as a senator, paid her female staffers 72 cents on the dollar, which is a little worse than Obama is doing in the White House today. The whole thing is ridiculous.
The whole thing is ridiculous, but it's fun to see Hollywood on display with politics at every Oscars, and we heard every political bench you possibly could. And I think all the American public wants is a decent movie to watch at the theaters. That's what they need to concentrate on.
All right, look, you're in Minnesota and Minneapolis, and of course the Mall of America is there, and al-Shabab named that mall by name. How concerned are you, and having spent so many years on the committee, how concerned should we all be about not only that mall, but malls around the country?
We should be very concerned because this wasn't just a joke or a PR stunt. This is an actual call for those who are adherents of following radical Islam to actually take violent action here in the United States, in particular at the iconic Mall of America, the largest mall, at least it was when it was built in the United States. We have the largest population of Somalis outside of Somalia right here next to the Mall of America in the Minneapolis area. Some estimates are that we have over 150,000 Somalis in America, and not only the Mall of America, the mall in Edmonton, Canada, and other malls as well. Now, the response, I think, is interesting from the federal government level. It's an absolutely apathetic, clueless response, and that was initiated by our Department of Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, who essentially said, we have no credible threat. Well, the video from al-Shabab, which is an al-Qaeda affiliate alone, that's the credible threat, because that message is being sent to sympathizers to light a match and take action and actually have something happen at Mall of America. Don't forget, last fall there was a call from terrorists for those who couldn't come to the Islamic State in Syria to join the jihad to take jihadist actions locally. And that's when we saw the attacks in Canada at the Parliament, also against government figures, and we also saw 2 police officers innocently killed in Brooklyn. That was in a direct response to a call to take action.
So you're saying that certainly we have need to be concerned.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. This is how it works. This is how they act. They make their call, and then we wait around. And what this shows again is the absolutely clueless response of the White House. We saw it last week at the President's Summit in response to the terrorist actions in Paris. They couldn't even call terrorism by its name, terrorism. They have to call it countering violent extremism.
And the head of the FBI wasn't even invited because they didn't want to make it look too much like they were serious from a law enforcement perspective. I want you to hear something, Congresswoman. This is the VA Secretary, Robert McDonald, speaking to a homeless veteran. It's kind of hard to hear, but I'll fill you in. Here we go.
Do you happen to be a veteran of military service? Yes. Really? Yes. Army, Navy, Air Force? Army? Yes, what unit?
Special Forces.
Special Forces? What years? I was in Special Forces.
He claims to this man, I was in Special Forces. He has since had to apologize. He was never in Special Forces. This is not Brian Williams. This is a man charged with heading the VA, representing veterans, lying about his service. What do you say?
Well, this is a new copycat crime, isn't it? All across America, we have all these individuals who are claiming that they were superheroes in one way or another, and they aren't. And for some reason, they have to continually puff up their resume when they don't have it. It is pathetic. The VA is in trouble right now because They have failed to serve our veterans, and when you have one of their own in a position of power claiming that he's somebody that he isn't, it really disrespects those who've actually laid their life on the line for us all.
He's apologized. I guess the president won't fire him.
Well, I think he better be fired. I think that's what we need to see. There was just a new poll that came out that said over 71% of Americans want to see Brian Williams fired, and I think that we need to have a new standard on this, and I think that the president needs to do some firing.
And they should fire.
Really,
and they should fire Brian Williams too, right?
Oh, I think of course, I think they should.
Congresswoman, I appreciate it. Always love talking to you. We'll speak to you very soon. Let's make this regular. Congresswoman Michele Bachmann, we're coming back, folks.